But you understand, we do have one game left to play. Hey, fantastic. Every single one of you. I mean, I'm not just talking about these last 60 minutes. I'm talking about the quarterback schools, the mini camp, the off-season, the training camp, down in Austin when it was hot and you were tired, the whole bit. Everybody, you did one hell of a job. And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Yo, Cowboy fans only. Yo, look, this is for the Cowboy fans. 8th wonder Jerry's World, yeah, we crowd those stands. Dak, he gon' spin it like a fan. And you know ID coming with it, Coach Quinn got the plan, yeah. This is for the Cowboy fans. 8th wonder Jerry's World, yeah, we crowd those stands. Dak, he gon' spin it like a fan. Yo. And you know ID coming with it, Coach Quinn got the plan. It's time to eat, off tackle or the sweep. Behind Teron Collins, ain't no problem feeding Zeke. And Dak lick his chops when he see the lamb deep. You know 88 tradition that repeat. Coop route like Irvin, watch for Cedric in the slot. See us try to gallop to the end zone, they can't stop. Dalton up the seam, Jarwin carving up your team. Tony Pollard, X Factor, Kellen Moore with the scheme. We applying pressure with Lawrence and Gregory. QB's getting sacked, can't relax, rehab therapy. Micah got a hit list, Jalen Smith hit stick. No escaping, Leighton got him. Trayvon with the pick six, dig that. Kazi go kamikaze, the defense is solid. Find me in Dallas at Jerry's Palace among stars. Screaming Cowboy fans only, yeah. Screaming Cowboy fans only. This is for the Cowboy fans. 8th wonder Jerry's World, yeah, we crowd those stands. Dak, he gon' spin it like a fan. And you know ID coming with it, Coach Quinn got the plan, yeah. This is for the Cowboy fans. 8th wonder Jerry's World, yeah, we crowd those stands. Dak, he gon' spin it like a fan. And you know ID coming with it, Coach Quinn got the plan. Shout out J Tuck. Subscribe to his YouTube page, Cowboy Fans Only. CowboysFansOnly.com for all your merchandise. Cowboys stand up.
What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy J Tuck. Kellen Moore, did you do good today in your job interview? Real Cowboys fans stand up, and you're now tuned into the Cowboys Fans Only channel. So if you are new, do us a huge favor, comment, like, subscribe, somewhere down there, and be sure to turn that notification bell. Also, follow me on Twitter at JTuck151, Instagram JTuck151, and TikTok, because they're annoying the hell out of me right now, JTuck151, and of course, CowboysFansOnly.com. Well, Cowboys Nation, as we know, at this juncture in the season, Mondays go either two ways. We have Victory Monday, where there's not a concern in the world, everything is going great, there's nothing to be concerned about, or there's Overreaction Monday. And I feel like right now, if you look online, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere, Cowboys fans are jumping out of windows right now. So, of course, me and my brother Nix, we're having a conversation. We have to be the voice of reason and reel Cowboys fans off that ledge. So, with further ado, he's not a guest. It's my brother, BJ Nix in the building. What's going on, my bro?
I don't know how this is going to go tonight.
Are you on the ledge, man?
No, hold on. You said talk him off the ledge. I might shove him off. I don't know yet.
Okay.
I don't know. But I'm going to try. Yes, we are going to try to somewhat compartmentalize this thing a little bit and get there. But yeah, man. There's definitely things your guy Nick's is not a fan of. I'm just going to call it what it is, but we'll get into all that.
Yeah. We got a lot to talk about, so keep the questions. This is going to be one of those shows because we got some time tonight, as they'll say.
Yeah.
Got some time tonight.
Well, and look, and for those who've ever tuned into our shows,
right?
And when I say our shows, when Gang gets together, CFO Gang, Star Gang, we get together. We are about the community,
right?
We've been about that. So for sure tonight's going to be some of this as well community as we talk through this thing,
right?
No doubt.
Right. We work it out together. It's not about us two, it's about all of us. But we about to talk this thing on out. But for the people who are seeing you for the first time, Nix, let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, man. You can shoot over to Twitter. Your guy Nix, as it says right there on the bottom of the screen. It's there on the bottom of the screen. Your_guy_Nix NIX. And then of course, every Wednesday, if you go over to Stargate Podcast, don't type in Stargate on YouTube and hit search. Some old ass rap group. I don't know. That ain't us. Okay, you have to type in the full thing. Stargate Podcast. Spaces in between it. Search it out and hit that follow button. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central, me, Matt O, aka Professor O, Spoonie with the sermon, and of course, Margarita Mary, aka Mariella, gives you the live content every Wednesday at 8 p.m. And of course, if you do the Facebook thing, by all means, we're over 12K strong with the Facebook group. We also have a Facebook page. You can like and follow that page as well. So, type in Star Gang, you should find me. I probably should have put like a 151 behind everything that my guy Tuck did. But you know what? I was dumb and I didn't. So there it is.
Yeah. Now before we dive into the the nitty gritty of what happened yesterday, definitely give my Star Gang family a follow because they had a great guest the other day, and Ezekiel Elliott's mother Dawn was on the channel. So tell me a little bit about that conversation. What it was like to have her on that show. If you missed the show, you definitely have to check out. She's a fun person to talk to.
Yeah, man, she is a lot of fun. I mean, she blessed us. She was getting her hair done and was in between a whole lot of different things. But definitely blessed us up. And I loved her. Her energy was great. We found out some good things. I'll give one. You gotta go watch the rest of the show. I'll give you one thing though she gave us about Zeke you might have not known. Zeke wanted to be a dentist as a kid growing up, and literally she was talking about like he was pulling like his little sister's teeth all the time. There was other kids around in the neighborhood or whatever. He was pulling the teeth all the time. And she was like, I literally had to tell him, keep your hands out of people's mouth. Right. So if you want to hear some stuff about Zeke in the back door, maybe what his pregame meal is or what she cooks, maybe there's a debate there, Tuck, from those that like oatmeal versus
malto meal. Zeke is a malto meal guy. Me too.
Right. Yeah. So definitely a good time with her. Definitely loved it, and she was prophetic in the 40-3 call against Washington, anyways.
Right.
But super fun time with her. Definitely will have Miss Dawn back on again. It was a great show. She's good people. If you watch her on Twitter and how she tweets and interacts with people, she is literally the same person through and through. Whether it's whether we're DMing each other or whatnot, we even talked a little bit during the game yesterday, or on camera. She is literally consistent, and when you deal with people in this land, not everybody's consistent. So know that we've had those conversations. She is consistent across the board. Shout out to her, man. Great episode, good energy. So by all means, if you get a chance, man, go over there and check it out.
Definitely watch that video. If you have the chance, post it in the chat so everyone can find that video, and definitely subscribe to the Star Gang family. And James
Professor
Tyson.
Okay. So my guy Professor Zo's in here. Professor, if you could drop that link to the Zeke Mama show, drop it in the chat for us, my guy.
Yeah, and James Tyson, thank you for the donation, man. Appreciate it. Ask questions,
y'all.
My
guy James.
Like I said, man, this is not about me and Nix. This is about us. But we're gonna go ahead and get into what we saw yesterday.
I mean, I'll put my tweet out there. You want just put my tweet out there? I'll put it out there.
Let's get to the tweet.
I'm over Kellen Moore.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what I said. I'm over. I'm over Kellen Moore. And we went through this during the season, and I've talked with different content creators and everything, and I've always said, I don't think he's a young play caller, and I've prefaced that a lot with him, and I don't think that per se he's reached his ceiling, if you will. Here's my narrative, and here's where I have a problem though, Tuck. Anytime it's a quote unquote seasoned defensive coordinator, boy, we got problems. And I think there's just something that's continuously happened. I mean, we'll talk about a myriad of other things, Ralcon Simpson, all this other stuff, some football nerd talk and whatnot. But just in general, from a synopsis of looking at certain things, man, if it's and look, and let's be clear, or let's be clear, I should say, John Vince was the head coach where? Denver, right? Denver said they had the blueprint on us, right? Think he has some people he might have talked to before we played this game against Arizona. And of course, Troy Aikman told us how depleted they were 11 times during the damn game. Depleted every other damn word. I was like, bro, can you just choose a different word than depleted? But you know, obviously he reached back into some of those annals and they figured things out. Obviously it wasn't to the same effect as it was against Denver, but they got the job done being depleted.
Yeah, and to echo what you said, Nick, I feel like the Dallas Cowboys, you know, offensively were bullies. And I said that earlier, like, what are you talking about, Tuck? If we all know a bully, high school, middle school, elementary school, what do? They pick on the smallest kid in the class, right? The nerds, right? The geeks, the people who really won't punch back. But when you get approached by someone your same size, they cave a little bit. Oh, man, I don't want any problems. So I feel like when it comes to Kellen Moore, we are seeing that too frequently. Just like Nick says, every time we see a defensive coordinator with some veteranism in itself, like, we get real conservative. And I felt like yesterday, the Cardinals came out and they played with their backs against the wall. We came out and just wanted to play football, you know, and you can tell, you know, and that was the difference. And I just don't understand it. We play versus the Falcons. Oh, we've taken the ball first. We're coming out. We're aggressive. We're going down the field. We're trying to put up points. We play the Cardinals. Hey, man, we're going to take what the defense gives us. You know, it's just real conservative play calling. So, you know, like I said, I never was a Kellen Moore hater, but we're getting to the point I'm just not seeing the consistency there. I'm just not. And as of right now, I do not know how do we trend downward from what we saw open the season to where we're at right now, because you go back to that Broncos game, it's been the same type scheme since then. We still haven't found a way to overcome it, which is definitely concerning.
Yeah, I mean, you know, here's the thing, right, is in all week, statement game. That's what we heard. That was our in the building. That's what we heard all week, statement game.
Yeah.
What statement did we make there? I mean, I'll leave that blank line for everybody in the comment section to talk about what statement we might have made. But again, I don't know if I want to go there though, Tuck. There are certain fingerprints still here from the prior regime.
Okay.
And I mean, it is what it is. You know, it's puzzling because, you know, there's always been this talk around, well, if everything's perfect around Dak, right, that's when he performs. That's when he's elite per se. And, you know, I broached this question. If y'all follow me on Twitter, we do these Twitter spaces. And I've said this literally as soon as Twitter Spaces was a thing and we had these conversations, I said, maybe the question should be changed. Not Dak, but maybe everything needs to be perfect for Kellen Moore to get off, right? And that was kind of resonating with whenever Linehan was here and Jason Garrett was here. If we were at full tilt, we were good to go offensively for the most part. But boy, if we missed a left tackle or we didn't have a Des Bryant, things got a little shaky and it wasn't quite the same. And then I look at this game that we just played. I mean, this is the first game we had our official starting offensive line all together, right?
Right. Starting wide receivers, starting
wide receivers.
Everything was back to good.
Minus Blake Jarwin.
Right.
Don't tell me Blake Jarwin's the missing piece.
Right.
Like, I'm not buying that.
Right. And, I've been waiting for Blake Jarwin to come back, but he doesn't mean that much of a difference. You know, like, it's kind of a luxury versus a necessity when it comes to Jarwin. Right.
And, you know, I jokingly in our group chat, during Jamar Chase, as he was going off, and I was like, man, CeeDee Lamb's who we thought, or Jamar Chase is who we thought CeeDee Lamb was going to be. Right?
Right.
Tongue in cheek. It was tongue in cheek. Again, but these play calls, we started calling screens again. Like, we just
and Buda Baker was on, and every time we're running these wide receiver screens, they're getting sniffed out the gate.
Hey, J Tuck, you play defense, right?
Yeah,
I play defense. All right. You know, now, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I did not play in the NFL as a particular guy.
Right.
On Twitter
had to remind you today, right?
Yeah, remind you. I didn't play NFL football. Fair enough. I played on a lot of levels, but not the NFL. And the guy reminded me of that today. But if I'm Buda Baker, just use some common sense here.
Right.
And we got trips out here, right? And it's CeeDee Lamb, Connor McGovern, and Noah Brown.
Right.
What do you think's coming?
Right. Just instinct. Just instinctual. they have a guard out there flex wide in trips.
That was cool earlier in the year when you did it.
Right. And like me and O were going for a conversation yesterday, it was like, why not fake the screen, pump fake, give a shoulder, and go deep? Because I think the one that really sticks out when it started was the Kansas City game. They jumped that one on the screen. It's just like these screenplays have been getting sniffed out the gate, but you haven't seen any creativity when it comes to that. And I know some people are saying maybe Kellen's waiting for playoff. Like, I'm not buying that, because if you are losing games right now in the season and just holding stuff in your back pocket for playoffs, that doesn't make sense to me. So it's just like, I just
J-Tug, and let's be honest on that, because I saw a lot of that. I even saw some people try to go with that again today.
Right.
You had the number 2 seed on the line last night.
Right.
What are you waiting for?
Right.
Because if you win where everyone's lined up, you're the number 2 seed.
Right.
So what are we holding for?
Right.
Like, no, come on, stop it.
Right.
This is just Kellen's bag right now. Let's just keep it a buck, man.
Yeah, and I agree. It's just like my guy, the lunatic, just said. It's very predictable. Now, it's funny when we had our back to the wall in the fourth quarter, then you saw some creativity. Oh, bam, there's Cedric Wilson with the reverse, like, then you're starting to see those. But why don't we see that earlier on? And it's very concerning, y'all. And it's just like, at this point, we have one game, then it's playoffs. I'm not sure how we can fix it. Now, you see, I'm wearing a hat. Now, I'll say this with how headline. I'm not fully a proponent of it, but yesterday, man, when I was sitting there watching the game, because I think, my scouting report, also your guys' scouting report on Star Game, there was opportunity to run the ball versus the defense, and to see Zeke get 5 touches and Pollard get 3 touches, and Dak be our leading rusher with 5 touch carries for 20 yards. That's not going to cut it. So let me ask you this, bro. Is it just it is what it is, and Kellen Moore is not going to commit to the run game? Because I'm hearing the conversations. A lot of people are seeing that Dak might be checking out the runs, because Dak, y'all, was super animated yesterday at the line of scrimmage. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? There's Omaha, Michelob, all sorts of stuff going on.
Miller Lite Pepsi.
Yeah, he was like Michelob, and CeeDee Lamb was like, bro, what the hell are we doing? Like, is he checking out the run or what?
I got one there. Well, if I'm the quarterback, right, and our scheme to run the ball is to have Dalton Schultz block Chandler Jones one-on-one,
right,
it's not going to work.
Right.
And guess what? How many runs we have total? Forget the Dak runs. Just running backs. 8? 4 of those plays had Dalton Schultz blocking Chandler Jones one-on-one.
Right.
That's schematics, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
This is why I have an issue with Kellen Moore, because every single one of those plays, guess what? Chandler Jones ate it up.
Right.
So if I'm Dak, and I've seen this 8 times and 4 times, we're looking at whatever, why would I keep calling it?
Right.
I'll be right. I'm telling you right now, I want Dak screaming Michelob, Miller Lite, Pepsi, whatever the hell it is.
Right.
Because I already know Dalton Schultz can't block Chandler Jones.
Right.
He can't do it. And consistently, that's the play design. Man, boy, did that not feel like we're going to trot out Chaz Green and let the quarterback get ate up in Atlanta. It was different, but it was the same. And as it was happening, I was like, yo, this is Linehan shit, guys. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cuss on your channel.
You good.
I'm sorry. I'm like, man, this is Linehan shit. Like, and I've talked about this before. If you follow me, or if you follow my content, I've talked about it here on CFO. I've talked about it in Twitter Spaces. I've talked about this on the Star Game podcast. I'm a very big proponent of, I don't blame players, because the coaches know what they can and what they can't do. I'm not going to consistently put a player in a position that I know he's going to fail. That's terrible coaching.
Right.
And we know Dalton Schultz in general is not a great blocker.
Agreed.
No matter what the tape or whatever his thing was coming into the draft into the NFL. He's not a great blocker. And your idea is to have him one-on-one with Chandler Jones, even at times when you run the ball away from him. He couldn't hold him long enough to stop Chandler Jones from getting the play from the backside.
Right.
Like, you had to adjust that.
Right.
That's bad coaching. I'm sorry.
Right. And my guy DMV just said, Kellen Moore, in my opinion, isn't as committed to the run game adjustments and as we are to the pass adjustments. Yeah, I just think schematically, it just doesn't add up in the run game. And now going into last week versus the Washington football team, we kind of saw some things. Okay, now we're running some counters. Now we're running, off tackle. We're getting out to the edges. We saw a little bit of creativity, and then it's just like that's all I had. And you saw Zeke finally get the big play. There was a holding call, unfortunately, and then that was it.
Every time we had a big play, every time we had a big play, there was a holding call.
Right.
Different set of circumstances. We'll talk about a little bit later with this inconsistency for sure. DMV asked me, can you talk about how bad Tyron was yesterday? He goes, I think that hurt us in the running game as well. I feel like he couldn't really move yesterday. Here's the thing, though, DMV. Here's the thing. How about on the backside blocks? Don't have Schultz on Chandler Jones. Let me get Tyron Smith over there.
Right.
Like they refused to put Tyron Smith on Chandler Jones on backside blocks. I do agree. He didn't have a great game yesterday.
Right. Coming
back or whatever. That's factual for sure. But on the same token, I'm still going to trust Tyron Smith in the run game on Chandler Jones than Schultz.
Right.
So again, the lack of adjustments, and look, and is the prior question, the lack of adjustments in the passing game. I think I'm sorry, those are trash too.
Right.
We're not throwing the ball, we're not pushing it downfield.
Yeah.
We heard Amari Cooper say last week, we are not calling cover 2 beaters.
Right.
He said it. It's in front of you in plain black and white.
Right.
Why? Like, look, I don't think Kellen Moore's an idiot.
Right.
J-Tuck. Right? I don't think he's an idiot. So that's why we went in Cowboys Nation. I think we went to the depths of, he's sandbagging. He's holding some stuff back. He's waiting for the run. And I'll be honest with you, after we played the Washington football team, the Washington benches, whoever they are,
right?
I said, you know what? I lean back in my chair. I say, maybe so. I saw some trips. I saw the passes downfield.
That's my thing. It's like, okay, so we did versus Washington. We ran the double tight end set with Steele out there. But why not do that in the running game and have Terrence Steele out there chipping with Dalton Schultz? But it's just like it's just a lack of consistency. And salute to my girl Rika. I'm moving the chain. She said, if I were Kellen Moore, looking at where Garrett is now, I would do the exact opposite. Yeah, I agree. And y'all, I just don't know, but it's to the point where it was just sad. Like I just, watching the game, and I tweeted, I was like, man, this kind of hurts because I think we got fool's gold versus Washington. Like, okay, now it's making sense. They got the cover 2 beaters down. Everything was starting to click a little bit, and then they just caved right back in. And here's my problem. If you're going to be a passing team, like literally 30 minutes before we played, I watched the Chiefs versus the Bengals. If you're going to be a passing team, then get the ball to your damn weapons. That's my thing. If you want to be this air attack, get the ball in CeeDee Lamb's hands, get the ball in Amari Cooper's hands and Michael Gallup before he went down, because when the Bengals played, it was 3rd down, 3rd and 27. You know what? I'm going to Jamar Chase. That's the sentiment that they have. Like, if you want to be this air attack team, then go to your playmakers and allow them to make plays. But they haven't put Cooper in a position where he can make plays. CD not in a position to make plays. And going against their secondary was primarily just backup guys. To not even take shots down the field as often as this referee crew was calling pass interferences. We saw what happened when we finally did it to Michael Gallup, what that turned into. Why just cave in and not attack down the field? I just don't get the mindset of the staff. And I saw the question in the chat, why doesn't Mike McCarthy intervene? I don't know. Like, I mean,
it's a great question. That's been my thing since last year, Tug.
Right.
We talked about that at Sun. That's been my thing for 2 years now. Put the arm around him, do different things. Let me ask you a question, Tug. Let me ask you a question.
Go.
Thank God we got Ciroc in the building tonight. If y'all know about the Ciroc shows, y'all
got a minute. Let's go.
Yeah, you feel me? Here's my thing.
Still need that sponsor, by the way.
That part. We're working on that back end.
Yeah.
We're working on that back end. We try to get the Ciroc boys in the building intro going. You feel me?
Right.
But my question to you is, Tuck, why? I want to make sure I phrase it properly here. Is what? And back to Jamar Chase, right? And these other guys, we're seeing what they're doing. Cooper Kupp's, right? Everybody knows Cooper Kupp's getting the ball. All these different things. and how they line it up and they do those things. And yet and still with all these things that we're seeing, right? We're the number one offense.
Right.
After 16 games, does it feel like we're the number one offense?
No, not at all. No, statistically, I know that's the case. And this has been my situation and my sentiments for the past few weeks of December. Like, I just didn't feel this offense looked like it was supposed to look. Like, once we kind of got Michael Gallup back and, we had some things with CD and the concussion and we got Coop back, though, like, the offense just wasn't clicking, and especially against teams where it should have been clicking against. And that's why I was voicing my concern. Granted, a win is a win, but I was like, something doesn't look right. Like, it just, you see the drops, you see the miscommunications, you see, a lot of these things that shouldn't be happening with this team that's been in sync for about 2 to 3 years at this point. So it looked very lethargic. The play calling was there. The running scheme wasn't there. So that's why I was voicing my concern. And I feel like at this point, it was my biggest, like, even though we kind of said that in a joking manner this summer, it's like, watch the offense or defense be elite and the offense break. Like, and I just feel like that's because we can never have two things at once. We can never have two things at once. And so here we are. And the one thing that we could lean on that we thought coming into the season was Dak Prescott and his offense. I'm at the point where it's like, if we had to get into a Tampa shootout like we did week 1, I don't think we're capable of doing that anymore.
It feels like they've lost their way. I agree with that. And even in my backdoor to that question was about the number one offense. Man, to quote Baker Mayfield, they don't feel dangerous. Right. I mean, look, and if you watch the Kansas City Bengals game, they put up 20 in the first half, they didn't score in the second half. But you always, like, even though they didn't score in the second half, you always feel like Kansas City's one play away. Right. Look, Stafford's going to throw interceptions. We kind of know that about Stafford, but like at a certain point, they're going to get you somewhere. Right. And for the Cowboys, it just feels like that's not the case. Right. Look, shout out to my guy K9. He had a great tweet today. And his tweet, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, was, I know in the first 5-10 minutes of the game if we're going to win or lose. Absolutely. Yep. And I was like, bro, I mean, it's just kind of spot on. Yep. It's just either go back to the Washington game, right? It was tempo. We came out in tempo, like the first drive, maybe two, and then guess what? Boom. We were done with tempo for the rest of the time. Why? Abandon it. We know it works. So we did tempo versus Washington and got the offense in the rhythm. We started off for it. It stalled a little bit, and we had to punt. They're like, we're done with tempo for the rest of the game. Cancel that. And I just don't get it. And to echo what, I know we're talking about the offense and Greg the leg, just like K9 said, as soon as Greg missed that field goal, that's when I sat back in my chair. It's like, it's gonna be one of those. Here we go. Every game he's missed a field goal, we've lost. To my understanding. Yep. And Raiders, this game, Tampa, the Bucks. Yeah, it feels. Although he might have missed one. He might have missed one against the Chargers, and we still won. I think he did miss one early against the Chargers. Barely by the skin of his teeth. But again, it set the tone. Right. And again, missing the extra point here and there, it to me is unexcusable. For the most part, I mean, that's what you do. That's your job. But yeah, the missed field goals are just killer. We were going into the Saints game, and I had the tweet. We talked about this, me and you, and Matt O as well. Was like, literally, they have Brett Maher right now at that particular point in the season. Brett Maher was a better kicker than Greg Zuerlein. Let that sink in for a second. Right. And it goes back to what you say. We can't have both. We have a good kicker. We have a bad punter. We get a good punter. Right. We break something. We overcompensate and break something. And here's the thing. And I know we're kind of bouncing over the place, but that's just how we do. It is what it is. When you watch Greg Zuerlein kick, even extra points, I'm on edge. Like, I remember when I was out there in Tampa, and everybody's like, "Why are you sitting down?" Like, bro, because he could miss this. Like, it just doesn't. You don't have that confidence that he can make extra points and field goals. And the biggest thing that he really brings to us is just a strong leg. And like I told O this morning, the reason I don't like that because it makes Mike McCarthy irrational with some of his game management decisions, because he's like, going back to the Chargers game. Well, we can just, let the clock die out and we'll go for a 62-yard field goal. Like, that's not the way to play to win, It's just like a coin flip. And, I feel like Greg the Leg is a huge liability with the offense who struggles putting points up as well. You at least need a reliable kicker.
And it's been concerning, but, as they say, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And he has friends in Dallas, and they're going to ride with him because the kid, hallelujah, he came in right down the middle, extra points. That's all I need. Give me 35, 40. Even if your range is up
score
to 50,
touchdowns, kick extra points. We don't worry about these field goals.
even if your range is up to 53, 54, that's your limitation. I'll take that if you're accurate. Dan Bailey didn't have the biggest leg, but he was I never worried about an extra point with Dan Bailey. It was just like, all right, I'm going to the bathroom and come, get my drinks, come on back. But, I feel like break the leg is going to be costly, man. But, with this offense, y'all, I felt like in the month of December, when we're having some of these blowout games, that was the time to really get the run game kind of going. Because here's where you saying, like, do they look like a team that anyone needs to be afraid of offensively? No, because that's why they're stacking the box and giving those pressures and playing one-on-one coverage, because we're not making anyone pay for it. And so it's like,
Yeah, I mean, we and of course the Deacon Dak came up today. I saw that, and it came up last night too.
Right.
And it was going to happen. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, because there were key moments in the game, right? That Dak had time.
Right.
He had time. I promise you, if somebody was open downfield, Dak would let it fly.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep it a buck.
Right.
But and this is what compounds the issues. So nobody's open. I'm gonna check it down. Pollard 2 drops.
Right.
Zeke drop. I go over there to Kansas City in Williams. He catches everything.
Right.
And these guys should be able to catch the ball. They're catchable balls.
Mm-hmm.
Did Dak look? And Dak's not. Back to the whole conundrum situation of things. Dak missed Coop. Facts.
Right.
He missed Coop on him. He wide open. It doesn't get much easier in the NFL. He missed him.
Right.
He threw a bad ball to Schultz overall. It just wasn't a great ball. And Schultz, although Schultz had one hand on it, he couldn't bring it in. And those things happen. But again, it's advantageous to what you're doing offensively. And what happens, Tuck, and I'm going to go a little bit different here on people. And if I'm wrong, stop me at any point. Chat, you, anybody. At a certain point, if you don't believe in the scheme,
mm-hmm.
things get off the rails.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm beginning to wonder, does the players offensively really are they gotten to the point where they're turning on said scheme?
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems like there are some serious issues within the scheme, as we talked about before, with the screen passes. Ultimately, the run game is very. Look, last week we were running counter trays and pulling guys everywhere.
Right.
There was none of that this week. And why? It worked last week. Why didn't you do it this week? Now last week you're pulling Lel Collins from right tackle even.
Right.
You're pulling Connor Williams. This week we're going to block Chandler Jones with Dalton Schultz one-on-one.
Right.
Like where's the consistency in the play calling, in the designs of the game plan?
Right.
And when you don't have those things as a player, I think at times you just kind of look at this shit sideways and like, hey man,
it's not going to work.
I don't know what we're doing here.
Well, so I don't have the exact words, but Amari Cooper came out and said something like, I think we all need to kind of voice like the wide receivers, running backs. I don't have the exact quote, but like voice what works and what doesn't work for us. And I think that's what you're seeing. Like, we've all played sports and you get that play call, we about to run what? You're just like, bro, this is not going to work. But whatever, let's run the screen. So it's just like, players are human. And I feel like you kind of see that sometimes. We're just like, why are we running this? Like, it just doesn't work. Like, we could do this. And we just don't have that personality, I don't think, here in Dallas offensively, that's going to explode and really make it a situation. They kind of, handle themselves differently, but we might need that Dez to throw the helmet. Like, I would be perfectly fine. Like I said, I would have gave Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott the full pass to throw a helmet and say, what the F are we doing? Like yesterday. Right. Like, three.
Don't Antonio Brown it, but yes.
Yeah. Don't quit leading the middle of the game and drop your new single or anything like that. But what are we doing? Like, you have Zeke, you have Pollard, which is a dynamic duo in the run game. Give them the ball. You have Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. Like, there should be no reason why offensively they are the afterthought in the offense behind Dalton Schultz. Like,
hey, look, man.
If we were going to feature a tight end this much in our offense,
Don't do that. You will get us tarred and feathered out here. Don't do that.
I'm just saying. Like, yeah.
But with that being said, my guy Daryl Shep's in the building. Mr. Passion. He's like, saving the bag of tricks for the playoffs, my guy Knicks. We still going to the Super Bowl. They win the Super Bowl. Man, appreciate you, Daryl. Hey, man, look, from your lips to God's ears, I hope you're right. But my guy, Professor O brought up a good point. What happened to the wishbone? Remember that? Remember we was doing that?
Right.
The Hulk package, right? It was the Hulk package.
Well,
and we ran it with success. And where's it been?
Well, I feel like
great point, Professor.
I feel like didn't we lose it when Jarwin went out?
No, we were running after Jarwin.
Because I thought, who did they have? They had two tight ends. I thought, or had one tight end and a guard. McGovern, wasn't it?
They would have McGovern. Hell, there was one time they had Leo Collins and Connor McGovern back there.
Think so? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, bro, you could put Steele in McGovern. The whole package was working.
But now, me personally, I'm not a fan of the guards and the tackles at fullback. Like I hope they get rid of that.
Overall, I'm with you. Overall, no. Just in that set, it worked. Right. And you haven't brought it back. I'm with you, Ralston. I mean, we got him here.
Right.
Let's see what's good.
Because you're seeing, like, when McGovern came in and played fullback and tried to lead block for Zeke, it's a slow, massive block in the way. Like, he doesn't run the same velocity and speed that a Nick Ralston would run to get to the hole and get to the second level. So Zeke is just, kind of trotting behind this big offensive guard, and it just doesn't work. On the goal line, yes, but in the open field, absolutely not. You have fullbacks, you have tight ends, let them get the opportunity. But yeah, we haven't seen the wishbone. There's a lot of things that we haven't seen. Remember, we played versus the Chargers, and we had Tyron Smith flexed out wide. So we see glimpses of it when it comes to Kellen Moore, and then it just goes away for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and there it is again. And then it goes away. And so it's just the inconsistency. So
no, it's Dak. I'm sorry, it's Dak. It's
all Dak's fault. All Dak's fault. All Dak's fault, right?
Dak, sir.
Yeah.
He's not a $40 million quarterback. Sorry.
And here's the thing, y'all. When it comes to Dak, me and Knicks, we all keep it real when we do what we do. So we're not going to baby him. Has Dak been playing at the level that he played earlier on? But it's clearly not all his fault. I mean, he threw for 3 touchdowns. Yes. I mean, it wasn't. I know the fumble kind of stuck out in a lot of people's minds, but Isaiah Simmons made a hell of a play. Like, that was an incredible play, incredible punch out. Like, it happens, So, to put that loss on Dak's back fully, I mean, granted, he is the quarterback, but there was a lot of issues, not only offensively, defensively as well. And so I just think overall, we just kind of struggled, and we tried to turn it on, and it was too late. And you can't do that in most cases versus quality teams. So
I just, if you want to unlock this offense, there's a scheme to be had that a particular coach or two on the staff can run that we're not running. And, those are just factual. When you talk about Coop and CeeDee Lamb, because the things that, and here's the thing, right? And we're talking about where Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan, right? The old Cordial, play action, deep shots, go up, get it, guys, Des Bryant, different things, right? And those work, and I understand it. On the same token, though, when you look at who you have, that's why I said Michael Gallup was so big this year.
The get it.
And that's why I was always team no trade. Team no trade Gallup. We got to have all the weapons. He brings something to the offense that we don't have. Even on the play that he got injured, the back shoulder throw and stuff like that, it's a big body throw. That's a big body player. You got to have him, and we're going to lose that now. And even Cedric Wilson being your third goes into this. It's the West Coast offense. Get the ball to the people. Let them go eat and do those things. And we don't run enough drags, enough crossing routes, like things that are advantageous to the skill sets of the receivers that we have. We just don't do that. And the biggest issue is, so if you're not going to do that, then you have to call the plays to take the deep shots. And when we play certain teams for whatever it is, we just don't call and dial those plays up. Or if we happen to dial them up the way that they're playing us, because the quote unquote blueprint's out, it's not there. It's just not there. So what do you want Dak to do? And this is why I tell people all the time. Yeah, sure, quarterback, too much blame, too much credit, the whole nine. We know these things.
Right.
But Would y'all rather him force it down the field, knowing, like, for instance, I watched the Rams and the Ravens game, and I watched Matthew Stafford force the ball down the field, deep pass to Odell just to take a shot, right? There was 3 guys around him. It got picked off.
Right.
Is that going to make you happy that Dak just starts taking shots because they're calling defensive penalties and it turns into turnovers? Of course not. So if we're not scheming guys and doing things that are advantageous to get these guys open and let them go do what they need to do, it becomes a problem. And whenever Kellen goes into his shell or whatever it is when he's playing certain teams, or again, I don't think it's certain teams. I think it's certain coordinators. I think that if we dial it up down the year and we look at the coordinators, I think you'll find a rhythm of certain things that are happening. It just looks wonky. And now we have the issue of the run game's not working. So Dak's doing this or that. And then, this guy drops the ball, Dak misses one. It's always the same thing. It's always Dak misses a throw or a guy drops the ball. It's never all one person.
Right.
So whenever you're seeing this across the board, to me, it screams scheme.
Right.
Because you can't tell me either these guys are not nearly as good as we think they are, or it's the scheme. I don't think it can be either one.
And I would be hard pressed to agree that it's the talent. I don't think it's the talent, because I feel like if you get we saw what happened when you get the ball in CeeDee Lamb's hands. He's able to get the yak. Amari Cooper, Cedric Wilson. So, but it's just, I just don't know schematically the routes that we're calling, the concepts that we're running. It just doesn't add up. It just doesn't make sense. And I've seen it for far too long, bro. Like, that's the problem. It's like, if it was just one game, like, okay, we'll fix. But it's like, it's been a trending period pretty much since week 7. And it's just like, I do not know, how do you not be able to scheme how to get Amari Cooper the ball in space? It's that's the one thing I will say the difference between Romo's Dak, that Romo, he would force feed. Like, no matter what, I'm going to Dez. Like, I will just figure out, I'm going to throw it in triple coverage, let my wide receiver make the play. That's not Dak's game. So you brought in Amari Cooper.
Here's the thing though, Tuck. That's not Cooper or
right there.
CD's game.
That's Michael Gallup's game.
Problem.
Yeah, that's Michael Gallup's game. Yeah, exactly. So, but CD and Ced and Cooper, they're space guys. They're those drag routes. Those, because they ran that zig route when they had Cedric Wilson come in on the motion. Like, that's their game. Like, we can do that stuff in the first quarter. We don't have to wait until we're bleeding out in the fourth quarter. And so that's my huge concern, man. But listen, y'all, I just don't know what happens. Now, I'll say this. If this was last year, right, and we had the offense that we thought we had and Dak didn't go down, and we had the defense that we had, we would still be confident in the playoffs. But this season, I'm still confident because our defense is now able to kind of carry and anchor this team a little bit. And I just believe we are going to see in the playoffs this one game. Maybe it's blind faith, but I feel like they're going to turn it up a level. And so that gives me hope. Like, last year going to the playoffs, I was like, there's no chance our defense can take it to the next level. But kind of just knowing that our offense can, but just haven't as of yet, that still gives me the confidence. I don't know why Cowboys fans are pretty much just jumping off the window right now, because what you see with this defense, even though defense had a bad day, they still had opportunities to make plays and really turn that game around.
Look, they forced the fumble. We got screwed. Right,
but did force the fumble. Exactly. So how were we talking today if the refs would have made a play? Now, refs, this and that, you can really never leave it in their hands, especially when you're a Dallas Cowboy. But that goes back to Mike McCarthy kind of getting out coached. Now, I know that, he had to call the penalty when they ran out the kicker and Kyler Murray, but that's all they wanted. I just want to make the Cowboys burn a timeout real quick. And so there was just, like I said, the Cardinals came out and played with their back to the wall.
But the tackle before the fumble, he was tackled out of bounds, and the refs missed it. They ran the clock.
Yeah,
he had to blow the
running.
timeout then.
Right.
So he had to blow the timeout then.
Right.
And those things.
Now the timeout with 4 minutes left is kind of
right. I was like, maybe you should wait.
Right.
But here's the thing is, and I've said this not just about Cowboys games. If you follow me on Twitter for sure, because I usually live tweet all the games before the Cowboys play or after they play or whatever.
Right.
And it's not just a Cowboys thing. It's just wildly inconsistent across the league. I don't care who you're watching.
Yeah. I mean, watch the Chiefs game. It was horrible.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not mad per se about the holding calls that happened against Dallas. Some of them were holds. I think the Connor Williams hold was a little suspect, but neither here nor there. For the most part, holds happen. It is what it is.
Right.
I just need you to call it the same way. If you're going to call it that way, I just need you to call it the same
one-sided.
Right, because I mean, you saw Kellen Moore, Jesus H. He's talking about. He must have been watching.
Right.
You saw Kyler Murray.
Y'all know Kellen Moore. Maybe that's the problem with Kellen Moore. I didn't drop a video with no cheat notes on how to handle the offense. He said, "Man, I ain't got it, man. Tuck didn't give me nothing this week, man."
Yeah, you feel me? Facts. Get on that, Tuck.
My bad.
But yeah, I mean, D-Law's breathing down his neck. Kyler has to bail close to their own end zone. It's the easy call.
Right.
The opposite tackle's behind Law, reaches in front and grabs him, holds him. Law literally puts his hands up, looks at the ref,
right,
and there's no flag.
Right.
So yeah, and even back to what Michael said, you don't live up to the refs, and we all agree with that.
Right.
I just in general need consistency, and it's just something that needs to happen. Throughout the league. This isn't just about the Cowboys,
right?
But my God, for a multi-billion-dollar organization and what they run, and you look across all the other leagues, their officiating is not nearly, even in the college game,
right?
The officiating isn't this bad or inconsistent,
right?
And they have to figure it out and get better.
It's game-changing situations that impacts a lot. Like there was just clearly a fumble. It's just like, nah, we're not going to review anything.
Yeah,
and it's just like. And I feel like when it comes to Micah, man, he's kind of getting the Shaq treatment, where it's like he's getting held so much. It's just like, he can handle it. I'm like, bro, they're dragging him, but as soon as we swipe out a helmet or grab a little claw, it's a holding call. So yeah, I agree. It's that consistency, man. But Professor O broke it down before the game. You kind of know what the refs are going to do when they go in, and Mike McCarthy even mentioned that. So. It's something we're gonna have to battle, y'all, because we're never gonna get no favorable calls. It just doesn't work in our favor. And so, this stupid pass interference is something they have to address about the corner getting their head around. I mean, because what are you supposed to do? You're running full speed, they throw a dot the back of your, like, you don't know until the wide receiver goes up to make a play and they jump in front of you and grab the back of your helmet. What are you supposed to do? So it's like you're at a clear disadvantage, but teams are taking advantage of it. Why not give it a try? Cowboys Nation, let's just throw CD down there and have him jump in the, back
just
into the corner and see what happens.
Just throw it short. Yeah. But here's the thing, though. But here's the thing: on the offsides, and Dak takes a shot to Cooper.
Right.
The guy's hugging him.
Right. Nothing.
Into the end zone.
Nothing.
And here's what I didn't like. On the telecast, and Joe Buck and Aikman, he should have acted more. He should have been more upset about the call.
Mm-hmm.
No. That's not the player's job.
Right.
The player's job is not to flail, do all these different things. It was blatant. Mm-hmm. He was hugging Cooper. It's easy. The ref literally was, for me to Tuck's face right now on the screen. You throw the flag.
Right.
Like, it's simple. You threw it on a damn fake punt, and this is Amari Cooper.
Right.
Like, what are we doing? Like, it's those kind of misses. I guess we'll call them misses. I don't know what the hell you want to call them.
Right.
But it's like, bro, like that's a simple, easy call. That's not a judgment call. That's nothing. That's my guy's hugged up. Boom.
Right.
He's hugging him like he ain't seen him since last Thanksgiving.
Right.
He's hugging him. And you don't throw the flag. It is that kind of consistency that we're missing throughout the game. This wasn't, you know what? Maybe Dak should have threw it short.
Right.
And then he would have turned around, he would have grabbed him, then he would have got the call. What are we doing?
Inconsistent. Like, even, DeMarcus Lawrence is a veteran. It was clearly 0 when he jumped off sides. Like, he was watching the clock, like he knew to jump. They're like, nope.
Yeah, no, lunatic. Hey, lunatic, no, you don't have to sell it. That's BS. Because if you start selling stuff, now we're getting into the flop stuff and everything.
The Jalen Ramsey.
Everybody hated.
Yeah.
No, get it out of here. Either it is or it isn't. He don't need to sell it. Right. And that's an easy call. It's a layup, Joe. I'm sorry, Tucker.
Yeah. I agree. And especially if that's the rule that a cornerback has to get their head around, then keep it consistent. Like, it doesn't have to be Amari Cooper has to flail all up and do all this extra stuff. Like, no, the cornerback clearly didn't get his head around. He didn't even know where the ball was. And it's just like, offsides on the defense. But, it's just inconsistency. So Keep the questions coming. Salute to my guy Spoonie with the super chat, $5 holler. Appreciate you, bro. Let's see here. My brother Donnie says, that's true, bro. No, we don't get calls in big games because we're Cowboys fans. Yeah, we really can't rely on that.
I mean, that's how we feel, whether that's true or not. But I mean, time and time again, man, I said this on the space. Man, you can't keep pissing on me telling me that it's rain.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I don't know what you want me to say.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree. So before we transition over to the defensive side of the ball, Knicks, this offense, we spoke about it. Is it fixable? Can we get this right before we play in the playoffs? Or is this just is who we are? Like this. And I said that. I feel like we're a team that has a decent defense that's able to force turnovers. We have a talented offense that's inconsistent. That's the idea in the Cowboys this season.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's funny because again, that's why I asked you the question earlier. It's funny because we're talking about fixing the offense, and you know, we have the number one offense in general. But I think every Cowboys fan, if you look in the mirror with nobody around you, and you're just honest with yourself,
right?
You don't feel like this is a number one offense,
right?
You know, I think they stepped up a lot of things within the first 6-7 games.
Right.
We've had explosions, right? Atlanta game, you know. First half of the Washington game, obviously the entirety of the second Washington game, we've had explosions, but it hasn't been consistent. So from a prototypical sense of fixing, of being more consistent, I don't know if you can do that.
Right.
But what I do know is they can score enough. Still, I still believe that. Gotta worry about the slow starts. We look, right, 2016, what killed us? 21-3 first half.
Right.
Boom, slow start. Then we ramped up, had a great game, and then boom, they kicked the field goal. So I think if we're talking about fixing the offense and we're talking about making a run in the playoffs, I think what it boils down to is you got to start quicker. And here we are, broken record, right?
Right.
Same thing.
Last 2-3 years, yes, quick starts.
Right.
Yeah.
Got a quick starts. Got to just be better earlier. And who was the guy the last 2-3 years calling the plays?
More.
Okay, so he's going to fix it. So 2-3 years of not starting quick enough. Now it's going to happen in the playoffs. Tell me, Tom.
That's why I said if I was on that Zoom call, the first question I asked Kellen Moore. So it seems like you had some inconsistencies with extremely talented offensive roster. Tell me what makes you the candidate to come here in Jacksonville. Like, what the hell are you gonna do with us? Like, we ain't got half of what you got there. So what you about to do here in Jacksonville as the head coach, bro? Like, you got Dak, Zeke, you know, Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and you still struggling to get off to, you know, the fiery starts, man. So a lot of people in the chat say, let's see, I see my guy Professor O says bunch formations excellent for the run as well. Establish the run game, establish the run. Are we not going anywhere? I'm telling you, if we win in the wild card, it's Zeke doesn't touch 20 touches in division round. We're not doing nothing. So I'm seeing it's starting to kind of be the idea around Cowboys Nation is that we have to get this run game back some way, somehow. But to be honest with y'all,
hold on, wait.
What we doing? Run the damn ball. Run the damn ball. Hey.
Let me tell you why. Because we're going to be the 4 seed, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get one home game, we got to go on the road.
Yeah, it's going to be some cold ones.
Two things travel in the playoffs. 2. Run game and defense.
Yep.
And you got to go get it. And you got to have it.
Yep. You got to find a way to get it. And like I was telling my guy West Coast, you should have made some of these in Eagles colors, man, because that's what the Eagles finally started to do. They started going their run. It's just run the ball.
They just say that. They just can't throw the ball as well as us.
And I feel like I'm not saying that Zeke needs 30 touches, but can I get 10 for Zeke, just 10 for Pollard? That's it. You can split it up, you know, divide it away, but you got to give them the opportunity, but you also have to make the run game a threat. Now, I will say one of the positives I saw yesterday, you did see Dak being Dak a little bit. He was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm taking off, bro. Like, I'm taking off. And, of course, my heart was kind of skipping because, like, damn, we already lost Michael Gallup, bro. Like, you know, come on, don't do this to me, Dak. You know, you know, so you slide. You know, get down a little bit. But, you know, you start to see Dak, you know, start to look a little Dak-ish when it comes to the run. So, you know, we ran the RPO on 4th down, and that turned out to be a big play. So that's something to be excited about. but Zeke needs more touches, man, and Pollard needs more touches as well. And the one thing I did not like is there was a play where Dak got sacked, and they had Pollard back in pass protection versus Zeke. I'm like, so why would you do that when we know that if you're not going to give Zeke the ball, you should at least have him back in pass protection? But, you know, Pollard's not that guy in pass pro. So, you know, sometimes it's just the decision making with the staff, man. But like I said, I feel like our offense is capable of turning around. But we're at the point it's like, I can't trust it. I can't say that, all right, our offense can carry us and, you know, we can play at this high level in playoffs. I'm leaning more towards the defense to really get the job done. But like you said, two things travel, defense and the run game. And I feel like the run game can be. I mean, even when you saw little traces of Corey Clement get the ball, like he can get in a rhythm. So listen, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't know.
And I would add some to my head. It would be run the damn ball efficiently.
Right.
AKA don't run it up the middle. AKA, hey, how did the Cardinals start the game out? Oh, little jet sweep for 20 some odd yards.
Right.
You know, those different. Hey, look, where's CeeDee Lamb in the backfield?
Right.
CeeDee Lamb's done great running the ball in the backfield.
Right.
Run to the edges. Get to your counter trees. Run the ball the right way. But here's the thing, though, Tuck. Here's the thing. It's your offensive coordinator.
Yep.
Whether it's because now we transitioned, right? We transitioned from the passing and what's going on and different schemes and these players and everything else. Now we're talking about the running game and what's wrong with the running game. Can I drop the F-bomb? Is that okay? Can I drop the F-bomb?
Drop it.
It's the fucking scheme.
Yeah.
It's a problem. That's the issue. Because the scheme isn't consistent in what he does and what he calls from week to week.
Right.
The run plays aren't the same week to week. The passing alignment isn't the same week. How do you get in rhythm, Tuck? How do you get in rhythm and you're not being consistent in the damn play calling?
Right.
I'm telling you, hey, I hope the interview went well, my guy.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
I hope it went well.
And my guy SoFlo just said we need some of those lucky whitehead sweeps. Bring back the jet sweep. I'm okay if you want to get rid of the wide receiver screen and bring back the jet sweep. I'm okay with that. You know, but just get to the edges. Have some creativity, but just turn around, hand the ball off to Zeke, 2-yard gain. I'm gonna turn around and where's the creativity? But Kellen Moore has been in the NFL far too long to not have any bag with the run game to go into. I just don't understand it. Yeah, I don't know, y'all. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
Like I said, and you know, as a player, I mean, Zeke is always going to be a professional, but you got to be feeling some type of way. Like, and I said this when me and SoFlo was out there in Tampa. Like, you got to let him get into a rhythm at least. You know, like, what are you supposed to do with 5 carries? Like, what was he supposed to do with that? Like, I don't know.
I'm just telling you, man. Because I think sometimes we get caught up with, well, Kellen Moore was a quarterback and what he did at Boise State and pass game. The run game is what Kellen Moore does and calls as well too.
Right.
It's trash.
Right.
Swaggy, get out of here. Romo would call better plays. What did Romo get us? Like, look, and I love Romo, but man, that shit ain't got nothing to do with right now. I'm not even trying to hear that.
Right.
Sorry, that's one of your guys that subs to you. I ain't trying to make him leave. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Man, get that shit out of here, bro. We're not like Romo's like 43, 45. I don't know how old he is. Man, he's been gone since 2016. Who gives a shit? It's 5 years. Move on.
Right. Right. Yeah. You know, Eli Manning was doing like,
whatever, bro. I'm not trying to hear it.
Let's see, delayed draws. Yeah, so there's no draws, show pass, take advantage. Like, that's what I'm not seeing. Like, it's just, I don't. It's really simple when we sit back and watch it. We understand it. If teams are blitzing, why not use draw plays? Why not use screens with your running backs a little bit more? Like, get them off balance. But I feel like Kellen Moore does not keep the defense off balance at all. Like, it's just very one-dimensional, and I feel like it's easy to scheme for when we focus on, you know, what he's trying to do. But hey, he got to get it right. He has to get it right, because if we're going to go to where we're trying to get to, we can't go into the playoffs with this inconsistency. I just, you know, as good as our defense is, we're gonna need offense to kind of turn around just a little bit, you know, and that's my biggest fear. So now let's go to the defensive side of the ball. So,
let's do it.
You know, we kind of spoke about it yesterday, you know, what did you think of Dan Quinn? You know, it felt very blitz heavy-ish.
You saw my comment in the chat during the game. I was like, why are we blitzing so much?
Right.
Like, what is going on here?
Right. Exactly. So do you think that was the Kyler Murray impact of why we changed things schematically? Because we were just like sending it, but we wasn't getting there, you know? I mean, then we play a lot of soft zone coverages as well. So, you know, I just think, you know, it was a bad game for Dan Quinn, but I think also, you know, got to give the credit to the Cardinals. They had some calls drawn up and, you know, they made plays, especially on third down. So.
I think, you know, I think the defense adjusted and did well.
Right.
Even off the Dak fumble, they hold them to 3, keeps us in it. I think they adjusted. Again, you know, for me going into it, and we did our pregame show Wednesday, Start Game Podcast, YouTube, hit that sub. And I was like, for me, the way the front's been getting home, I would start there, and then if we had problems, I would blitz.
Right.
And it's kind of like Dan Quinn did the opposite.
Right.
We're going to blitz heavy, and then when it wasn't working, he kind of dialed it back. But to that point, I think we ended up with 36% pressure, you know, on him. I mean, which is good.
Right.
Obviously, PFF had their wet dream because, you know,
I assume Dave's got beat. Oh,
yeah, he bit on a double move, and you know, he got beat, so they got to, you know, get their rocket off, if you will.
Yeah.
I think honestly though, Tuck, for me, we talk about, and look, right, I think the defense did more than enough to win the game. I think we changed the narrative a little bit, from the fake punt to some other things.
Right.
It's under 20 points again, but again, they only scored 25, right?
Right.
I think linebacker hurt us, bro. I'm being honest with you. I think the lack of depth at linebacker hurt us a ton. And what ended up happening was you had to take Curse away from a Zach Ertz at times. And we saw Zach Ertz get some catches on Jordan Lewis and whatnot. Right. But I think the fact that Curse is having to play linebacker a little bit more and not be maybe that roamer or the different things that he's normally doing, I think that hurt the defense.
Yeah,
obviously,
is Neal out? Is Neal out this week too? Because I know he's unvaxxed. So is he missing 2 games now? I can't keep track of all that.
Man, they've changed the rules and whatnot. Man, I don't know.
Yeah,
I really don't. To be honest, look, I don't think LVE played a terrible game. To be honest, I think he ended up playing. I think it was the play counts were. Parsons played 75 of 77 snaps, something around there, or 76 of 77, somewhere in that stratosphere. I think it was LVE played around 55 snaps. But I think those snaps where Curse had to play linebacker, I think hurt us a little bit, to be honest. And we had Donovan Wilson kind of rotating in there too as well. And right in the big play where I think the one particular play where Curtis was playing linebacker, Donovan Wilson's there. It's a third down. They dump it off to Chase Edmonds. Got to make the one-on-one play. And Wilson loses his footing. He ends up getting the first. It was like a 3rd and 8 or something like that. So the small things that happen at times. So I think linebacker depth definitely helped us. Luke Gifford, basically with special teams, they didn't even attempt to play him defensively. He had not one snap on the defensive side of the ball. So yeah, I think linebacker did hurt us. Maybe that's why they blitzed more. I don't know from that standpoint. But yeah, linebacker definitely. Depth at linebacker hurt us. Not that LVE played a terrible game. Right. I think Parsons, I looked at some more tape today as I was working today, whatnot. I think Parsons actually was a dog, to be honest with you. I'm waiting for that flip. I'm waiting for the, as you said, the Shaq rule. I'm waiting for that switch to flip where he can finally get some calls his way. Right. Because he was, boy, there was a lot of missed calls on what was going on with him. But linebacker depth, I think, hurt us for sure.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think that's one of the things that, you know, we kind of took for granted coming into this season. We spoke about it. It's like, all right, we got a lot of linebacker depth, but then you move one away. You got one who's unvaccinated, missing games, and then you got Jabril Cox going down. That room thinned out very quick. And so, you know, but I think like Parsons played well. And like overall, like you said, if our field goal kicker, y'all, makes a field goal, it's a tie ball game, and it might be a different conversation. If that situation, we might have a timeout still saved to get the fumble back. And so I don't want to harp on the defense too bad. I feel like they did more than enough. Were they as elite as we saw in previous games? Absolutely not, because they didn't force turnovers, but they had the opportunity two forced turnovers, two of them actually. You know, so it's like
the interception in the end zone. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
I promise you, Diggs is going to kick himself when he looks at the film.
Right.
Because if he just he was running so full speed, literally, if he just kicks it back half a step,
it was right there.
It's such an easy pick for him.
And so I'm not sure if he saw Curson wanted to slow play because he didn't want to run. Like, it was just like one of those things, but even Curse still should have made the interception as well. Now, let me ask you this. I saw Bossman out there. Was it something with Anthony Brown, or was it I haven't gone back and watched the film, or was it the scheme that we were running?
Yeah, I just think it was rotation. I just think it was a little bit of rotation is what I think. And I mean, to be honest with you, shout out to Anthony Brown as well. I haven't done this a lot this year. You know, I think he played a pretty stellar game.
And the touchdown he gave up, I know Cowboys fans were like, "Oh, see, there goes Anthony Brown." I'm like, it's 6'4" on 5. Like, you know, it's just the law. Like how things ball physics. You know, so it's like,
I think he played a good game. I think it's smart to get, and we kind of talked about this in the Twitter space, especially on the every Friday. If you follow me on Twitter, we do the happy hour, 5 p.m. Central Friday. We talk about Cowboys and everything else in between. And I thought it was smart because we had people was like, it's time to bench Brown, or no, a lot of people was like, bench J-Lou, put Brown in the slot and get to Kelvin Joseph. And I was like, no, let's not do that. But let's see if we can, just work him in and find some reps there for him, and let him be an attribute as we move forward. And I think they kind of did a good job of that for the most part, and got him acclimated a little bit. So I think we'll see some of that, going forward. How much we do when we get to the playoffs, we'll see. But I don't think Kevin Joseph played horrible by any stretch either. Again, Tuck, you said it. This defense did more than enough to win the game.
Right, more than enough. Yeah. I can ask much more for the defense. Like, okay, I'll take that performance because I feel like this offense is more than enough capable once they turn it on to win ball games, like they should be. So, I don't want to harp on the defense. Like, I can nitpick the defense, like I said, a little bit too much blitzing for my liking, a little too much soft zone for my liking. It is what it is. But, for the most part.
And and look, and Tuck, we talked about this. The Broncos game, we did that shit.
Right.
Excuse my language.
Right.
We kind of went, like, we were kind of off the ball a little bit.
Right.
And it was like, why are we so far? Why are we giving up so much space? Like, we haven't seen it. We will see it a couple times. The one thing I will say about the game against the Cardinals, we didn't stand there very long. We changed it up pretty quickly.
Right.
It kind of got back to some things. But early on, I'm with you. I think maybe because they were blitzing so much, they were thinking that they would have time to get there, how we've been getting there, and maybe some of that headed down, or while they were playing off somewhat. But I do like the adjustments and what they did, coming out of that once it wasn't getting home, kind of get back to some other things. But yeah, the off-ball play.
I was like,
the batted balls, by the way.
Yeah, I'll break down the film on it once I get it. But I'm just like, man, that's a whole lot of cushion. Like, all right,
a whole lot.
And for someone like Kyler Murray, who kind of likes the short throws and kind of gets in a rhythm, like, you don't want to give him that because he's just able to sit there and all right, I'll take that, And let's see, Matt O says odds of AZ batting down 6 passes again is pretty low. Yeah, but I don't know why we continue to throw when the blitz is coming from that side. Like, the blitz is coming from here, and we're just like, I just don't know. I feel like Zach.
Tuck.
Oh yeah, scheme. My bad. No.
It's Dak's fault. Never mind.
Dak's fault. Dak's fault. Dak's fault. Swaggy T asked, "Do you really think D Hop comes back that quick?" I thought D Hop was out for the season.
They said he was coming back for the playoffs. Obviously, he was on crutches.
Yeah.
In today's science, who knows? Cam
Akers seeing what Cam Akers did, like, hell, we might get Michael Gallup back in 3 weeks based on this new science. That Mr. Miyagi,
Right. But I'll be honest with you, maybe foolishly, maybe my blue tinted glasses, if you will, I do feel like the Cowboys in a rematch with the Cardinals will get the dub.
Yeah, that's the one I want.
Do.
That's if we're gonna remain the 4 seed, which more than likely we will. It's the Cardinals. And I know a lot of people are getting on me on Twitter. I just think the Rams for us is a bad match. But we got all the time to talk about that once we get there. But I just think
once we get there, let's get there first.
Let's get there first. Well, speaking of getting there, so we do have Philly this week. Now, Philly apparently has one of the biggest roster hits of COVID thus far. or they
Yeah.
might just be chilling. I don't know. You never know with Philly. But it sounds like based on Stephen Jones that we're going to play our starters on Sunday. Are you pro play starters, or do you think that we should rest going into the playoffs?
Man, what the great conundrum is, every time at this time of the year, when you're headed to the playoffs, what do you do? How do you do it? If you don't have the bye, when there's only one bye now, do you steal a bye if you're locked in?
Right.
I mean, obviously there's some scenarios for us to get out of the 4th seed.
Mm-hmm.
A little long-winded,
right,
to get there. We're not going to talk about.
So I think they said that Tampa, Rams, and Cardinals all have to lose, and we win.
And that gets us like to the 2 seed.
The 2 seed,
but
yeah.
then we get to the 3 seed if the Cardinals and Rams lose,
right,
and we win. So I mean, we got to bet on other things.
And Rams have 49ers, and Cardinals have Seattle.
Right. So yeah. I think for me, you're pretty much looking to the 4th seed.
Right.
I mean, that's that's kind of where we are. I mean, if things shake out differently, then so be it.
And I forgot, we play on Saturday now.
Saturday, and they flexed us.
Right, they flexed us this Saturday night. So my birthday's this weekend, so I had plans. I was like, well, get canceled for Saturday night because I got a football game, Cowboys.
Right, I'm like, you flexed us, but I mean, there's no reason for honestly. For the Eagles, they're in the playoffs.
Right.
They're not going to get a different seed. I don't really know why they would play anybody anyways. So yeah, I mean, it's back to the great conundrum of preseason. And I like how Matt Owen just said, rest Greg, everyone else should play.
Yeah.
Funny how the tables have turned, because when me and Jay Tuck was like, hey, maybe we should get some rest with some of these guys, whatever. Matt Oil was like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Preseason, right?
Hold on, right. And then Neville Gallimore got hurt, and then, oh, my God.
Right.
Right? So, rewind, or fast forward, now here we are. What are we playing for Saturday night other than somebody to get hurt?
Right. Yeah.
Do we think it's if the Eagles are depleted, do we need to get on track Saturday night and do these things? Is it going to make a big difference going into the next week against the Cardinals or whatever?
Right.
So yeah, man, I'm indifferent, man. I understand the point of wanting to play guys to a certain extent, but
yeah,
man, I'll be honest with you. I think I'm team sit.
Yeah, and I was team sit before the game, the Cardinals game, because I expected us to win that game.
Wait. Happy birthday, Todd?
No, it's not till next Monday.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. I just saw happy birthday. I was like, wait.
Yeah, I said
January, right now, February.
But we were going to celebrate on Saturday night, me and the family.
Okay.
But I was like, now I got a Cowboys game. So no.
Okay.
It's the 10th, everyone, January 10th, so it's Monday. But we're going to celebrate Saturday night. And I was like, can we, maybe push it to Sunday, so. But yeah, I wanted to rest for a few reasons, right? Because I felt like at the time, Philly's going to be playing for their playoff lives and have their back to the wall, and we're going to really have nothing to play for. Like, why risk it in a rivalry game? But now it's like, if they are going to rest and have guys out with COVID, I don't see the benefit of us having starters out there, especially the high-quality guys. I think that Zeke finally needs to rest. Dak needs to sit down and rest. Like, maybe just watch the game from a different angle. Like, slow down a little bit. I think it's going to be in our best benefit, because seeing what happened with Michael Gallup, it's not worth it. It's not worth it in a meaningless game. Like, the odds of us moving to a 2 seed or a 3 seed is pretty much out the window, And so it's just like, at this point, I'm just not a fan of playing the starters, but I can kind of see where people are coming from. Offense needs to get back into a rhythm, but is getting in a rhythm offensively versus the Eagles going to propel us throughout the play? I just don't see that. Like, you saw what happened versus Washington and how that transacted versus the Cardinals. I don't see, like, okay, we got into a rhythm versus Philly. Now here we're ready to go. I just think we are who we are. But it sounds like Dak is going to play, offense is going to play, so he's got to, man, going to be on the edge all Saturday night, because, I just don't see the point, especially if it's versus Philly's backups.
Right. I just think nothing we do is going to dictate what happens at the playoffs. Maybe we were playing somebody different and they had something to play for, or whatnot. I mean, maybe I would feel differently.
Right.
But I think the benefit is not greater than the risk.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, it's kind of where I'm at.
Right.
You know, I like what Swaggy just said right there. Man, let Joseph get out there and get them
And that's what I want to say also. A lot of our young boys have showed improved this season. Let them get out there. I feel like if we're able to go on the road and beat Minnesota with Cooper Rush and some of these young players, like, I feel confident we can beat Philly with, you know, Cooper Rush and Malik Turner, and give me some Simi out there. Like, I feel like it'd be a good spark. So, you know, let Kelvin Joseph and Nashawn get those reps and let those guys play. But, you know, I just don't think that we are. So, you know.
But I mean, I will say this. Irregardless of anything, beating the Eagles is always good. So
yeah, you know,
if we're going to step in the throat,
and I feel like just for that standpoint, just because of the Eagles, and I don't want to hear their mouth like, oh, we split with you guys. All right, I get it, man, but it's just like, all right.
DMV has a good point. DMV says line needs the continuity. Maybe
that is true.
Maybe something to be had there.
That is
maybe
true.
Something to be had there.
That's a very great point.
Yeah. I mean, first game they got to play together, so I mean, there's something to be had there. But boy, if you go out there and Tyron twist that ankle again, was it really worth it? You know, I mean, those are just the things that we're dealing with at this point in time.
Or if we go out there and look suspect versus Philly's backups, like, imagine that playoff momentum. You know, like, you know, okay, if we go out there with starters and then, you know, Philly has 17 guys off the, you know, the roster with COVID, and they manage to pull off a victory because our offense can't. Yeah,
Trust the staff, right? Whatever they say, we roll with.
Yeah. I was a trust the process guy. You know, let Kellen cook. But now I'm in the kitchen.
Hold on. Why didn't you get the call line up tonight?
Oh,
This is the perfect night for the call.
Now I haven't done the call line with two people, but we can try it. Let me try it.
Throw it up there. I think the call line with everything that's happened would have been popping.
Let me try this.
We'll throw it out there. Hey, sometimes you get on here, we experiment, guys. Ladies and gentlemen.
Experiment.
We're just gonna. Hey, look, old boy from the Kansas game. I'm gonna step back like I mushed in the face and shoot my fake three.
Because I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear the call, but I'll just say what the caller is.
That's fine. I mean, here's what I can do. If you get a call, I just mute and I'll turn up my phone. See, I know how to work this thing.
There you go. All right, there we go.
Yeah, we think it.
All right, so we're going to turn on the call line. Phil, my bro Donnie's been wanting to call in.
Yeah,
right.
Get Donnie on in here. My dog Donnie.
Get the call line set up.
The one lunatic said, third preseason game, don't overthink it. Florida Cowboy. It's not about the Eagles, it's about us feeling good about themselves. Okay. Tell it was been a long season. Get a second bye weekend for the starters. Get fresh legs. Can we have Andy Dalton back? Bro, get off the gas, my guy. So what? What? My man said Andy Dalton. What? Oh, God. Man, preseason is meaningless, though. This game isn't meaningless. You still have a chance for the number 2 seed, even if slim. All right, well, I mean, I guess. My guy, Robert Roberts. Greg should rest indefinitely. All right, I mean, fair enough. Yeah, Soflo, he said Andy Dalton, my guy. Facts. My guy Soflo, stay off the weed, man. Anthony in the building. DC4L, Cowboys at least going to the NFC Championship game. Hey, from your lips to God's ears, brother. I'm right there. I'm right there with it.
Man. It's going to be a rough pass, man. It's going to be cold out there.
Let's go. Hey, defensive run game travels. Let me get my hat again if I need to.
It's going to be cold out there.
Yeah. That part. My guy's setting it up there. Soflo with the rest on. Saturday night. Oh, we getting lit. Okay. All right. I like that too. I mean, I'm going to be lit either way. Second seed is a 3% chance. Third seed is a 14%. Fourth seed is 83%. So that's what we're up against. Shout out to the lunatic, as always, brings some good shit.
What was those numbers again?
That was 2 seed 3%, 3 seed 14%, 4 seed 83%.
Yeah, I don't like the odds.
Hey, you never know. Hold on, Angels in the end zone. Hold on, let me get there. Angels in the end zone. I'm doing it right now for whoever they're playing against. Right? I mean, Jets almost beat the Bucks. I mean, we never know what'll happen.
Yeah,
we never know what happened.
They could have just a huge favor, man, but the Jets
right.
Not today.
Cassie Stewart, our O-line coaching and drop passes and penalties killed us yesterday, especially the penalties, because every big play offensively early on that we had, it was always something bringing us back to the fold. Yeah, the big facts. Ugh.
All right, let's see.
You are the only participant in the conference.
There you go. All right. There we go. There you go.
Anthony, I want Green Bay too, brother. I'm right there. I've been saying that for a month or so now.
I feel like it's inevitable that we have to go through the Packers.
Yeah,
all right, so let's see. Boom. See, it's that beep there. All right, so there's the call-in number. So go ahead and give us a call, and we'll go ahead and we'll get this thing popping. Y'all gonna hear this beep, man, because I can't figure out how to turn it off because it's like,
that's fine.
But we good. We good. You know how we do, man.
Yeah,
we
come on,
get
man.
It.
You know we be on the fly, brother.
There's the number, Donnie. Call the number. You know the number, Donnie. 425-436-6361. Hit 233-233 #, and we'll get you on the show, man.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Let's see. Ever since the Dart in 2016.
Yeah. You know the Dart was.
Yeah.
Byron Jones. You know what it is.
Yeah.
I like that, the Dart.
Yeah,
Dean. I don't like it.
Dean from Georgia with Parsons. That's the one thing, man. Since we're kind of, losing a few games, it kind of moves us up in the draft.
No. Don't do that.
Okay, all right.
Don't do that, son. You already know we gonna go ham during the offseason anyways on this. Don't do that right now, son.
All right.
My nerves can't handle it.
I'm just saying, man. I mean, if Kellen Moore is saving some stuff for playoffs,
come on now.
Playing for playoff position.
All right, my guy Steve says, is it possible that Dak is struggling with his reads and decision making than just being inexperienced? No, because here's my reason, Steve. Because there was times that Dak had plenty of time to get somewhere, and nobody was open. Like, if you dive into the film, he wasn't open, and he had to check it down. So no, it's really not to keep it a buck with you. You know what I mean?
Robert said, nah, Tuck, we want 32. We want in the final pick of the first round, the Super Bowl winning Dallas Cowboys. Oh, man. I can only imagine what Vegas would be like if that's the situation, man. Like, you say, hey, at least the Cowboys are good to draft. That's one thing they do well. That's what's
so, shout out to James with the super chat.
Hey, salute to my guy, James. Appreciate you, my guy. My guy Sofo says, no, I don't want no draft talk. Y'all sure y'all want no draft talk, man? All right.
Look, y'all saw I shut it down. I clipped him. Look, I'll be honest.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man.
Tuck thinks he's slick. Tuck thinks he's slick. He's been leaking draft talk on Twitter already.
I am loaded. I'm loaded on draft talk, y'all. So as soon as it's that time, the clips y'all get video after video, like, damn, how Tuck drop on this video? All right, we gotta call it a line, man.
All right, let's go.
Hey, caller, state your name and where you from.
Man, it's your boy. Hey, it's your boy Tip from the old city of No City, man.
What's going on, my brother Donnie in the building? What's going on, bro?
Let's go. What's up, bro?
Not much. Man,
how you feeling? I've been loving all y'all content today, man.
Appreciate you.
Hey, Nix, what's up, bro?
Nix can't hear you. I don't think Nix can hear you. Oh, he can hear you.
Oh, Nix can't hear me. Okay.
He can hear you. But he's muted. He's muted though. He's muted though. He can hear you though.
But I'm just saying, man, with all y'all content, man, like y'all on point and everything. I ain't gonna lie to you. I really wanted to win this game, so I was really upset.
Yeah, I'm a little bit delayed. I'm listening to you on my phone. Appreciate you though.
You're a daddy, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Man, so, but in the grand scheme of things, my thing was this. Every time we had a big play, it was a penalty, a holding.
Right.
It was just something, bro.
Right.
But like Nick said, Nick talk about that pass interference, like, Bro, like, that's a pass interference. You're supposed to make the call. If he just turn his head around, we don't got to discuss it. Just throw your flag and just put us in the position that we need to have.
Right.
But my thing is, the thing that bothers me is, anytime it goes to the ref got to make a play in a big game when it comes to the Cowboys, when people was talking about us, we get into the battles even with our offensive coordinator, our head coach, and the refs every time. And then our kicker can't kick a field goal ever in life.
Right.
We knew he was going to miss that field goal. And I was mad. I was like, I knew he was going to miss that one.
Right.
Like, bro, you going to miss this one. And y'all talking about the flow of the game. But my thing is, I'm going to ask y'all, I'm going to ask both of y'all, I'm going to listen to y'all because I love y'all. Y'all know real Cowboy-ish. So why we just can't throw the ball like, everybody talk about the dink and dack. Everybody want to talk about that. But right now, we got playmakers to dink and dack.
Right. Because
we say, let's put our playmakers in space and then see if they can make a move. If they get off, let's go. We get the first down.
Right.
Like, so I just say, why we make dink and dack now a bad thing? And I'm going to give it to y'all. And our defense is cold, though. Like, but they carry us every game. We still make the big play. Like Nick said, you said, where's the review? Nick said, that's blatant fumble. Why we didn't get a review? Why we couldn't get a booth review? So that's all my package in one nutshell for y'all.
Bet, bro. Appreciate you for calling in, man. We're going to answer that question for you, my guy, Donnie.
Amen.
All right, bro.
All right,
appreciate you.
I'm gonna watch. Thank y'all.
Yeah. So the question that he was asking, it kind of goes back to the West Coast about putting the ball in our playmakers' hands. We kind of mentioned that earlier. It's scheme, man. It's scheme, like Nick's been saying. It's scheme. Kellen Moore just hasn't found a way, creativity-wise, to put the ball in our playmakers' hands and let them get in space and do what they do best. And so I'm not sure how it changes unless Kellen Moore gets promoted to a different job and you let the guys who are in-house, who's comfortable with the West Coast style offense, do what they do best. But as of right now, I just don't see it changing. What about you, Nick? And the phone number's right there on the screen, y'all. Call that number. It should be.
Yeah, I mean, tail end of it, is, man. I mean, I just don't know. I'm a patient man.
Right.
In my elder statesmanship, I'm a patient man. And forget just this year. We just kind of go through whatever when it comes to Kellen or whatnot, and because we kind of blamed Jason Garrett stomping on Kellen, right? That's kind of what we did. And so are we to the point now? Because the rebuttal that I got was, oh, well, we always give excuses and we talk about this, but we change this and that, and the players are the same and this, that. Okay, cool. But I mean, I'll use Kellen in the vacuum. When Kellen got on, he was getting the plays called and everything, and all of a sudden it went left or whatever, right? We blamed Jason Garrett.
Right?
Right. Because, Jason Garrett must have stomped on him. And look, at times there was Garrett saying, and Garrett literally, the most honest thing that Jason Garrett might have ever said in a press conference, and people took it as him throwing Kellen Moore underneath the bus. He literally said, I'm not the play caller.
Right. They took the duties from him. Yeah, right.
He said it verbatim. Everybody trashed Garrett about it, though.
Right.
Oh, Garrett's just throwing who underneath the bus, trying to stay above water, so on and so forth. What way we fast forward to where we are now? I mean, what? Wash, rinse, repeat, right?
Right.
Kind of seems the same way. So is McCarthy stepping on Kellen and what he can do and what he can't do and whatever? So again, I just think, we're just seeing repetitive things from Kellen Moore.
Right.
I think, yes, at times he is very good. And again, when we get down to the brass tacks of Kellen, I said it earlier, I'll say it again. When he goes up against a nice, salty old dog defensive coordinator, he runs into problems. If he doesn't have all the weapons available at times,
right,
he runs into problems.
Because that was one of the things we spoke about in the preseason. Remember? And going back to the preseason, we wasn't putting up points because he didn't have all of the weapons. And yeah, I think, Kellen Moore, we have to look at him differently, but he's been here long enough. And I kind of said this in a jokingly manner on Twitter. Maybe Mike McCarthy kind of knows that that's the golden boy, kind of heir apparent. But maybe I'm going to give you enough rope to hang yourself and show that you really ain't capable of taking my job. And so We got a caller. Let's see what's going on.
Real quick before you get to the caller.
Oh, he's all right.
We were going into this, right? Mike McCarthy, or excuse me, Kellen Moore, we talked about red zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pitch train, the whole nine, whatever. Wow. Here we are, 60 games in.
Red zone.
Red zone.
Efficiency. Yep. Still struggling. Hey, caller, state your name and where you're from.
From North Carolina.
Oh, what's going on, my guy? What's going on?
What's up? What's going on, man?
Nah,
I
chilling,
was trying
man.
to listen to the show, but I was goddamn. I think I caught. I think it's fast forwarding. I was trying to catch me on the show, but I think it was fast forwarding. I think I missed it.
You on the show right now?
Oh damn.
Yeah, you're on the show right now.
What's up, y'all? Dallas Cowboys. Let's go.
Yeah.
Cowboy Nation. What's up?
Well, we in there, man. We trying to get it. You know, a lot of people jumping off the ship right now, but we still riding. So how you feeling after yesterday's game, bro?
I mean, to be honest with you, I feel like, no, we didn't play up to par, but at the same time, I hate when the refs determine the game, yo. I swear, man. And as far as, you know, us not having a timeout and things like that, I mean, you could blame that on Mike McCarthy. They did throw a little whammy on us as far as, you know, sending the punter or the kicker out on the field.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, still, you should, I mean, as a head coach, you should be, you know, you should be aware of, you know, things like that. And,
Right.
I mean, man, I wish we had the timeout because clearly that was a fumble. And like I said, I don't know why, you know, we couldn't get a booth review or, you know, anything like that, but clearly that was a fumble.
Yeah, and as soon as I saw it, and because I heard the crowd first, and I know the crowd saw it on the Jumbotron, and I said, man, we ain't got no timeouts. They are not about to give us that fumble. And I just knew what it was, and so I just, you know, pulled my hat down, put my hoodie on, and came in here and dropped my video. But, you know, you got a question for me and Knicks, bro?
Well, it wasn't really a question. Well, yeah, I got a question. Where do you see, I mean, like, I know Gallup got hurt, but do you think that's going to hurt our offense? I think what's hurting our offense right now is the fact that we don't have a solid running game between Zeke and Pollard. I mean, it's not, I think yesterday, Dak, he had most of the rushing yards. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think what's hurting us besides, you know, Michael Gallup going down yesterday is this running game. Like, what are we going to do about this running game?
Yeah. Hey, good question. Hey, appreciate you, my guy. We're going to try and answer your question. And Nix, you get that question? Let's see if he can hear me. All right, bro. So my first thoughts on the running game is the main thing, you got to be committed to it. Like, I feel like the Cowboys and Kellen Moore just aren't committed to it. Now, like I said, the conversation earlier, is it Dak switching out of it? Is it, you know, or is it Kellen Moore situation? I don't know. But I feel like scheme-wise, creativity-wise, like there has to be a committance to the running game. And right now, we just haven't seen it. We haven't seen it for quite some time. And I just don't think it's going to come back. So, you know, I don't think there's a quick fix for the run game. And then as far as the loss of Michael Gallup, it hurts. But because like we said earlier, he is our deep down the field, big guy, big target threat. But to be honest with you, I feel like adding Cedric Wilson out there in the slot, as we saw yesterday, it kind of gives Dak more of that security blanket for those underneath throws with Cedric. So I feel like even though we won't have the big play explosion with Michael Gallup, you know, having Ced back out there, maybe a few of those reps will help. But me personally, as a fourth wide receiver, I would like to see Malik Turner get a lot more opportunities over Noah Brown, but we'll see how that goes.
Okay, can I be long-winded for a second?
Go ahead, Nix. Go ahead, Nix.
I'll be long-winded for a second. First and foremost, the college game has what do they call that? The eye in the sky. What they got over there?
I can't hear him if you're talking.
Yeah,
you know. But,
yeah, you won't be able to hear because he's not on the call.
No. I'm asking you, Tuck.
Oh yeah.
The college football game, right? They have the independent eye in the sky, whatever it's called.
Right.
Right. The review. Like, why are we being archaic in 2022 now? Why are we being archaic in the idea of, well, if you ain't got timeouts and the call's blown, sorry, whammy. Right. You know, I like, bro, the idea is to get the game right.
Right.
So let's get the game right. To me, I don't think coaches should have to challenge anything.
Yeah, so you're saying that coaches shouldn't have to challenge that? It should just come from New York automatically?
I think you should automatically have an independent guy that's not on the refereeing staff that is watching the game and says,
honestly, I don't care
buzz
what,
down,
what
hold on,
part of the
player.
game,
Hold
you know,
on.
if
We need
it's
to
in
look
the
at this
first quarter,
again.
I mean, I still feel like, you know, New
It's
York should
archaic
be able
now.
to
I think at
challenge,
one point it
you know,
worked this
certain
way,
plays.
but with the technology and things that we've done now, it's done to keep
Just
doing
to
the
get the
things
game
the
right.
same
You know
way.
what I mean? To make
We
it fair,
need to
especially
be
in the fourth
better.
quarter. I mean, come on.
The replay system is broken in general.
And he's saying, and the caller is saying, like, especially in the fourth quarter as well. You know, and here's the thing, y'all. Y'all know I kind of fell in love with soccer this summer. That's how soccer works. You know, there's even cases where in soccer games they'll go back and say, "Oh no, actually, y'all messed that call after the game and correct it." And so it's like the technology, everything is there. You know, the NFL just, you know, you're putting it in these officials' hands. Like I don't understand why. So
yeah, again, it just
I know we're supposed
that's
to pay
the
them for
ultimate
something,
goal.
but to screw up a game, that's not what we
you know,
paid them
it didn't happen. So, and we talked about this even before the Cowboys going to happen. Like in general, it needs to be refined and do different things to make sure. Again, to me, it's always about independent, on the sky, if you will, just there watching and buzz down and let's go from that. Right. I think it's always should have been that way, and what they need to address. And I do believe this. I do believe the NFL is going to address certain things. I don't think they're going to make the complete change. They're always reactive, not proactive in the NFL. There will be some changes to the way the games are officiated. It won't get all the way to where it needs to be, but I think we'll see some movement.
Right.
But then back to the caller, right? He was talking about the run game, right?
Yeah, he wasn't know how do we fix the run game?
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't. It's scheme. It's schematics. If Kellen decides to do certain things and pull guys and whatever, we'll probably have good opportunities. If he doesn't and he's just whatever, like, again, I go back to, and look, if Dak's never going to come out here and do these things, this is why I looked at this game. I go back to and look and watch, and I'm going to tell you about the very first game. The running game was trash the first game against the Bucs.
Absent, right? Versus the Bucs.
Third and 2, ran the ball, lost a yard, punted. We didn't run the ball again until the fourth quarter, right? And Dak checked out of a lot of plays then. Nobody had a problem. Nobody had a problem. No. The last drive, you might have had an issue. The entirety from that point in the second quarter all the way until the last drive of the fourth quarter,
do you think that the offensive line is not built
nobody
to
had a
run?
problem.
Because
So again, I go back to what we talked about earlier.
Hold on 1 second. Y'all both talking at the same time. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's still on the phone. I'm sure.
My bad.
Yeah.
All
right. So, Carl, what was your question? 1 second here.
Now, my question was if he was saying earlier that it's, you know, it has something to do with scheme as far as Kellen Moore, but I'm saying if he keep not scheming to run the ball, is it because of the offensive line is not what it used to be? Because if you think about it, our offensive line, we only have Zach Martin and goddamn Tyron Smith left, and he's on what? I mean, I feel like he handicapped right now. You know what I'm saying? Like he's on his way out the door. So I mean, is it because we don't have that dominant offensive line no more that we can't run the ball?
Okay, so it's about the offensive line. Okay, bet. Appreciate you for calling in. We're going to answer that question. All right, bro. So the question was asked, do you think it's the offensive line not being how they were, you know, in years past that's making a big difference?
My fault there. It's like, I thought I hit you when you say we were talking, I was like, crap, I saw you mean me. My fault.
I got control. I got control over you.
Yeah, my guy. Thank you for the assist.
Yeah.
I'll finish up my last statement and then I'll get to that. It was, again, in this game, the running scheme was not very good. We talked about the, you know, Schultz versus Jones and whatever. So yeah, I want Dak to check out those plays because they're not efficient and there's a better chance of checking to something else. I'm sorry, it just is. Back to his point, I mean, Tuck, we had this conversation. I'm trying to remember the date. I think it was like right around Thanksgiving. We actually had this conversation, and you talked, and I was like, and Matt, and everybody, you know, that was in the group, and I was like, I think a lot of the issues is, you know, everyone, you know, and look, the national media talks about the great line, the great wall, this stuff when it comes to Cowboys and whatnot. But we all know, and to be clear, this line isn't the 2016 or 2017 line. It's not.
Right.
It's just not. It's not that they're not capable. Yeah, you have Zach Martin, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Right.
Leo Collins and what he does. So I'll be honest, as moments, both sides of that coin. Moments, bad and okay. Tyron Smith up and down with his injury, whatnot. The biggest key is that for this line to go, Connor Williams has to be the guy over McGovern right now. But no, I mean, no one in Cowboys Nation should sit here and believe that this offensive line is as good as 2016 through 18.
Right.
I mean, Travis Frederick's not here.
Right.
And maybe people will really forget or
the
take for granted of a center at times.
Right.
And just really how great Travis Frederick was. So yeah, no, this offensive line isn't as good as it is. But you know what happens? And look, there's a theme from your guy Nick's here. Whenever they're not good, or they're not as good as they once were and whatnot, you scheme things, you do things, you design things. And the Jason Garrett, Scott Linehan of running Zeke up the middle whenever you're not Ronald Leary, Travis Frederick, Zach Martin up the middle is dumb. And say, well, what do you mean? Well, let's just go back to last week against Washington. We didn't have nobody rush for 100 yards.
Right.
No, we didn't.
Right.
What we did have was a lot of runs to the outside, some counter trades, different things. And you had, because I don't think, like, for everyone to say run the damn ball, and I said run the damn ball efficiently, I'm not sitting here with the grandeur of that Zeke's about to go rush for 144 yards again, like he did against the Chargers week 2.
Right.
That's not happening.
Right.
What can happen, go back to the Washington game, is you get enough carries for Pollard and Zeke, and Pollard's a home run threat at any point.
Right.
And if those guys are getting multiple carries, and we're talking about the 10 plus range of 4.1 to 4.5 yards per carry, you're cooking with Crisco then.
Right.
And therein lies the issue. It's not about we need to run the ball 50%, throw the ball 50%. It's not really about that.
Right.
It's about scheming this run game the right way to get these guys that works with the offensive line. This is about the ultimate team game. It all has to matter together. And getting these guys in positions where they can explode and do the things that they do to be efficient. And when the running game is efficient, yards be damned, just efficient. And we know at one point this season, these guys were both top 10 rushers.
Right.
And look, even to this point right now, I mean, Zeke, I do believe is still in the top 10 rushing running backs this year.
Still.
Right. Still. But when we run the ball, if you look throughout this entire season, yards be damned. If we run the ball efficiently, this offense is way better.
Right.
Because it makes the play design for the passing game much easier for Kellen.
Right. I agree. And it opens up everything. So, but like I said, I just don't see Kellen wanting to commit. I just don't see him wanting to commit, and I just don't see that happening, because I feel like we've had so many opportunities. I went back, I thought the Saints game was going to be that opportunity. I thought the first time versus the
Saints rushing this is really good though, bro.
Yeah, but I mean,
they're really good.
But the way that I was saying, not the Saints game, the Saints game, I was saying to close out the Saints game. Like, the way that we got up, okay, let's get out with the win. Let's get the ball to Zeke, like kind of that wild thing approach where I had this summer. We couldn't get out. It's like,
I mean, Mike McColl's about to have an aneurysm on the side. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
I'm with you.
Yeah, and so that's one of the situations where we got to be able to get those get out with the win and get that run game to being efficient, but it just doesn't happen. Well, hey, my guy Nix, I appreciate you for coming on. Appreciate everyone in the chat, all the people who called in. Cowboys Nation, don't jump off that ledge, man. Don't jump off that ledge. Stay solid. We still here. Like I said, we saw the Bucs struggle with the Jets. We saw Jalen Ramsey punching players in the face. Like everyone
Odell Beckham punched a guy in the gooch after interception.
Yeah. But, you know what I'm saying? So all these teams have issues, and you know what I'm saying. So there's no perfect team. There's no juggernaut. Let's continue to roll and get things back on track. And then, we'll see how things sorts off once we get to playoff, man. But for my guy, Nix, for everyone seeing you for the first time, once again, tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, man. Twitter, your_guy_Nix, Nix. Come over there and follow me. I'm actually probably going to run a Twitter space when I get up out of here because I'm jazzed up and I can't just stop talking Cowboys. I don't know why.
You ready to go?
I don't know why. Yeah, I'm a little fired up. The callers got me energized a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to run a Twitter space here in a few minutes. On top of that, every Wednesday, Star Gang Podcast YouTube, not Star Gang. Get a rap group. That ain't us. Star Gang Podcast is what you got to search on YouTube. Hit that sub button. You'll catch me, Professor O, Spoonie, Mariella, every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central, delivering the content. We've been rocking for about 2.5 years now. Well, I mean, damn, hell, almost 3. We're about to say, man, I forget. Well, the seasons go by so fast, bro.
They zoom
so
by.
Fast, bro. So we're almost 3 years into it. We just really started doing the YouTube side this year more. We're almost at 700 subs. Trying to get to that 1K mark. So, you know, definitely share the content if you like it. Hit a sub if you like it as well. We appreciate that. If Facebook's your thing, Star Gang Group, we're over 12 grand strong that way. We also have the page, like and follow the page as well for content, different things, because, you know, anytime, you know, me and Jay Tuck Rock, we're dropping over there. Anytime Jay Tuck's doing something, he's dropping it in the group. So if you happen to miss him here, you know, because you didn't hit the bell, that's the important part. You gotta hit the bell. If you hit the bell, you know. But if you happen to miss it, you might be a starting like, oh shit, Jay Tuck's going on tonight.
Here we go.
And you got to get in there and get it in. So, and of course, this is all fun and games, and we're here to get 6. If y'all missed us last year during the off season with draft coverage, free agency, different things, man, there are some gems to be holding and to be had there.
To be honest with y'all, that's where the real fun starts as content. And like, here's the thing: you'll see a lot of content creators who do sports like for other teams. They fade out. They fade out once the season over. That's where I start licking my chops. I've been reading the damn collection and bargaining agreement. I've got draft videos ready to launch. I should launch some of these already. I thought about man, I should drop this draft video. Like Cowboys Nation gonna kill me if I start dropping draft videos already. But
I see you been dipping.
Hey, since my guy Vach dropped one though. He already dropped one. I caught him the other day. I caught him. You know, so it is what it is. But it's fun, man. That's the thing. We do this around the clock because it's our passion. Hey,
my guy said there it is. A pitch straight. Y'all know what it is.
Hey, 1,000 yards.
1K yards. We told y'all.
Yeah.
Shout out to my guy Boss. He got to give you that steak.
But here's the thing. Even if we drafted Pitts, man, they wouldn't be force feeding the ball anyway. You know, we'll be sitting here, man. Why can't they get Pitts the ball? You know, so
we being 12 personnel more.
Yeah, 12 personnel.
McCone's in his back, but neither here nor there. Yeah, man. But and of course, I mean, big catches in Vegas. It's gonna be a lot.
Oh
yeah, y'all don't know.
Oh yeah.
Spoiler alert.
I'm ready for Vegas. That's why I gotta get up early at 4 a.m. Man, we gotta get in Vegas shape. And then, of course, man, for everyone seeing me for the first time, I appreciate it. Cowboys fans only on the YouTube page. We are growing. So definitely comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay updated. Of course, as I said already, on Twitter, at JTuck151, Instagram, JTuck151, and TikTok, JTuck151, and CowboysFansOnly.com. We got the...
Yeah, real quick. Hold on. My guy Anthony said, hey, man, inbox me. Inbox me, man. I'll show up, bro. Dead ass. Just inbox me. We'll come. I will.
Absolutely.
Sure. I know. Tuck will too as well. Hold on, real quick. I mean, by the way, I see you, man. Now it's gonna be live in Vegas. I can't wait. To rewind though, that merch though. Go ahead, show that one more time.
You know, you got the.
I know that Dak shirts, but that Dak shirt, you guys got to be going crazy though.
Y'all bought out all the Dak shirts, man. So I had to fully restock. But you know, we got the Mr. Cowboy celebration joint. I got some more stuff coming, man. So.
Man, that Dak shirt
was
fire. Boy, that Dak shirt was fire, though.
Yeah, salute to everyone who those Dak shirts kind of sold out quick, like ASAP. And it's like, you know, I got, you know, had some shipping delays during holidays and everything.
Dude, you say I had to go to Japan.
I almost had to go to Japan, man. I was like, God dang, man. So salute to everyone who's been buying the Dak shirts like crazy, man. I appreciate it. They're all back up. They should be restocked as I checked this morning. So we're good.
Are you still running the Parsons shirt, or can you rerun that?
So we got the Parsons shirts up too. So we got the Parsons up there.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of people have been like, "Oh, make a hoodie." And it's like, you know, but I kind of make stuff. I want to make it look, you know, clean, and you know, so I want to kind of be in crew next season.
Actually, Matt Owen there said make some Rowdy merch.
I actually had a rowdy idea.
Make some cancel Rowdy merch.
I had a Rowdy shirt I was gonna make, man. I still might make.
I just
it,
want
man.
10%. I just want 10% for the cancel Rowdy.
Can't cancel.
Look, I'm stealing from Matt and I'm giving it to you. I know, man. I'm just trying to get it sideways. I'm sorry.
We got some other players we got to cancel first. Greg Zuerlein before we cancel Rowdy. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But hey, but like I said, appreciate everyone. My guy DMV, appreciate the super chat. Yeah. Oh, I know DMV gonna be out in Vegas, man. He always out in Vegas for the fight night, so we gonna.
Yeah, bro. He's international.
I'm trying to do it big for the draft, man. I'm already talking to people, trying to get pool parties, all sorts of. We gonna have some celebrations out there in Vegas, man. So if y'all gonna be out there, we gonna do it big.
Celebrate 6.
Celebrating 6 out there in Vegas, man. Celebrating 6.
Shall it be damned.
Man, I looked at our schedule for next year, man. It's kind of dry, It's kind of.
Well, I mean, we got Brady coming to town,
and then Jamar Chase.
If he sticks around,
right? And Jamar Chase.
Yeah, we got Jamar Chase
and then Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton.
Nah, he ain't gonna be there. We got it depends on if the Rams or the Cardinals win. We'll go to their house.
Right.
So I mean, there's some spicy stuff there.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. I mean, this is off the Cowboys tick. Let's off the Cowboys tick for a second. I'm gonna throw it out there. Do you think Brady comes back next year?
Yeah.
If he wins it all, is he gonna come back next year?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we got 2 more seasons of Brady.
Okay.
Yeah. I just think the way things are kind of going right now with the NFL
His contract's
rules,
only 1 more year though, right?
I think so, yeah. So this year, and then I think probably next year when his contract is up, then I'll probably be the end. So I think maybe next year might be his last season. So,
okay. Just want to pull that trigger.
Or maybe he might be done after seeing what Antonio Brown just did. He's like, I'm done.
Everything kind of went a little. I mean, it was rough during the season. Got hot at the end. Things happened. I just wonder. Off-season stuff, whatever. Right. We're transitioning somewhat because we're getting there, but yeah, I do wonder how that's going to work, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So get him and Aaron Rodgers out the NFC. I'll be all for it, man. But hey, I appreciate everyone in the chat. Like I said, Cowboys Nation, continue to ride, man. Continue to rally. We got a lot of football left. And we came too far to give up now. That's what I want to say everyone's giving up.
Come on, man.
There's no way giving up hope. Like, we came this far.
Right. And we can complain. Right. We can complain.
Right.
And analyze and be indifferent about certain things on this team. A lot of Kellen Moore people, a lot of Dak people, right? And the run, whatever. But at the end of the day, we need something, I guess, to be clear, if you will, for especially me and you. We won't speak for we won't put nobody else's
right.
We won't put no words in anybody else's mouth. It's all about us getting to the ultimate goal.
Right.
And neither one of us, our heart don't pump Kool-Aid. That's an old school saying, if you don't know. It don't pump Kool-Aid. We're still here for the ride. We are still believing and we're ready to see this team. As you said, a lot of football to be played. That doesn't sound like just 2 games.
Right. Yeah.
Right. That don't sound 2.
Right.
8 quarters ain't a lot of football, my guy.
Nah.
And we're still in that. But for us, as we create the content and we interact with the nation, we have to be honest in our opinions,
right,
and what we believe about the team at that moment.
Right.
But please believe me and Tuck, as hard as we were on the pitch train, I promise you, we're even harder on this 6 train.
Oh, bro, I'm foaming at the mouth to get back to AT&T for playoffs, man. I'm waiting. I'm just ready. Yeah, just send me the word. I'm ready. So yeah.
Hey, Matt Owen got the green light. Look, Matt Owen's in the chat. He's got the green light to go to the Super Bowl. I told him, hey, look, Cowboys made the Super Bowl in LA. Man, I'm taking out a second mortgage. I'm there.
Oh, we all there. We all. Well, shoot, my mama, my mama, she already booked the hotel, and I was like, all right,
let's go.
That's probably why we lost, because every time she does that, things just kind of break. So
hold on, Mama Tuck, easy.
We did it last year too as well, and then all of a sudden that goes down. It's like, all right, so like, all right, man. But those hotels are definitely not cheap right now. So get on it.
Hey, look, me and Mel said we can just sleep overnight at the airport. It's fine.
Right. We'll find a place. I'll sleep at the stadium outside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll find a way. But hey, I appreciate everyone. Like I said, I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and do not give up on this team, because we are about to rally. and ride this way to 6, man. Everyone have a good night. And follow my guy Nick's on Twitter because he's about to go to space.
Yeah, I'm about to go to this Twitter space, man. I'm about to go in here, switch up real quick. Yeah, I'm over on this Twitter space,
there you go.
man.
Follow
so
him on
everybody
Twitter.
Can jump in and talk.
Yeah, and then keep it going, man. I got 4 a.m. workouts, man. So I gotta get it. It's cold outside here in Kansas City, man. So I gotta be up.
Y'all got snow or not? Y'all snowing?
Yeah, we got
there?
snow. We got snow on Sunday. Yeah, snowed in. Couldn't drive until today, and so it's that season, man. So
you gotta move to Dallas soon.
Yeah. I gotta get there, man. I'm trying. Hey.